Local reporter. Maybe she'll post it. Hey, Mr. Rhines, where can she find video for this?
Anything we hear getting out of
You don't have to give me money, man. I mean, I'm good, but I ain't that good.
Yes, you do. I mean, people do what you're doing.
So here's, he does a lot of amazing work.
Put him on
He covers stories that a lot of people won't cover. Very
Stand right where you at. Stand right there. This is the Get To Free Press. I'm George Boss Rhymes. I'm down here in Valdosta, Georgia. And I have a beautiful brother here. I'm going to be asking him a few questions in a minute. What's your name again?
My name's Tom Hochschild. I live in Valdosta, Georgia.
And what organization you standing for? I watch people on the street here, and I just passing by. I had to come and try to get this story because I don't want no news to go unheard or unpublished to the American people. So what's that organization again?
So the organization we represent is called Georgians for the Removal of Donald Trump. You can find it on Facebook. We got hundreds of people that join in that think that Donald Trump is incompetent, that he needs to be removed from office. But right now what's going on tonight, George, is that there's about 300 events just like this one going on throughout the United States. The large organization is called Action Network. If you go online, look up Action Network, you'll see cities like Jacksonville right now, Tallahassee, Atlanta, Savannah. It's going on right now. Everybody is upset about the U.S. Senate letting Trump get away with these crimes.
Okay, I'm going across the street. I'm going to report this event here, and afterward can ask you a few questions.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Many Republicans have admitted that Trump's quid pro quo with Ukraine is illegal, impeachable, or just plain wrong. However, these same Republicans do not have the moral character or the courage to stand up to their bully leader. In a country that claims to strive for truth and justice, we cannot allow crimes or cover-ups on the part of our elected officials. Trump and all other politicians should be held accountable for their crimes, just like any other citizen. I'm going to shout out some things that Donald Trump has done, and I want you all to shout out whether you think it's innocent or guilty. Here's the first one. During the 2016 election, Trump violated the law by publicly calling on Russia to hack Hillary Clinton's emails. Innocent or guilty? During the same election, Trump's son and staff illegally participated in a meeting with Russians to try to get information damaging to Hillary Clinton. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Donald Trump illegally withheld military aid to the Ukraine in exchange for their investigation into Trump's political rival, Joe Biden. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump obstructed justice by firing James Comey because he refused to drop an investigation into Trump's national security advisor. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has obstructed justice by repeatedly intimidating and influencing witnesses in proceedings against him. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has illegally separated as many 5,400 immigrant children from their parents and has held them in unsanitary and unsafe concentration camps. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has had numerous affairs with women outside his marriage and has paid hush money to keep these stories out of the press. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump publicly supported neo-Nazis who rioted and killed a protester in Charlottesville. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump violated the First Amendment to the Constitution by terrorizing anyone in the media who is critical of him, calling them fake news and encouraging his supporters to harm reporters. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has tweeted highly classified military intelligence, which has put U.S. troops and our country in danger. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump violated domestic and international law by bombing Syria without congressional authorization. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has been accused of sexual misconduct by at least 22 women and has been audio recorded bragging about assaulting women. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump was forced by the courts to pay $2 million for using money donated for charity for his own political purposes. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump had to pay a $25 million settlement to people he defrauded through his fake college called Trump University. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! In violation of the U.S. Constitution's Emoluments Clause, Trump has made a fortune when foreign officials stay at one of his hotels. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump's family has gotten wealthy because many of their trademarks were approved in China while negotiating trade prices. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! Trump has spent about 115 million taxpayer dollars to golf and vacation at his own properties. Innocent or guilty? Guilty! We could be here all night, folks, right? Oh, yeah. We could be here until the wee hours. To the guillotine. The bottom line is this here. We are putting all politicians on notice. If you have participated or supported this cover-up of Trump's crimes, you will be held accountable. Let me hear you say it. You will be held accountable. 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 David Perdue will be held accountable. Will be held accountable. Kelly Loeffler will be held accountable. Will be held accountable. Doug Collins will be held accountable. Will be held accountable. Buddy Carter will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. Marco Rubio will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. Rick Scott will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. Mitch McConnell will be held accountable. Will be held accountable. Lindsey Graham will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. Ted Cruz will be held accountable. He will be held. Rudy Giuliani will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. And Donald Trump will be held accountable. He will be held accountable. Thanks everybody for showing up. Give yourselves a round of applause.
What's your name and why are you out here today?
My name is Tom Hochschild. I represent a group called Georgians for the removal of Donald Trump. We used to be called Georgians for the impeachment of Donald Trump, but now that he has been impeached forever, we are all about removing Donald Trump from office. We are here today because of the travesty of justice that has taken place today. He's angry about it. We're all angry about it. The Senate voted to acquit Donald Trump, even though it's obvious to everybody, including many Republicans, that he committed these crimes. He deserves to be removed from office. That's why we're here today. We are actually one of about 300 events going on around the country right now. It's called Reject the Cover-Up. Reject the Cover-Up. If you go online, there's events going on all across the country right now as we speak. And so when I saw this yesterday, I said, we got some people that care about these issues. Let's put this event together. You know, within 24 hours, we got a pretty good crew here that are standing up for what's right, that we're standing up for our country. We're tired of the lies. We're tired of the cover-ups. We think politicians should be held to the same standard as citizens. If you and I commit a crime, we get held accountable. Just because they're elected to office, they should get held accountable too. In fact, even more so. So why is it Donald Trump gets committed crime after crime after crime, and he's not being held accountable? This is absurd.
Do you think that if the same thing happened on the local level, that our system of government will be broken?
If the same thing happened at a local
At
level?
the local level of government, if someone is subpoenaed for court, and if they don't show up, do you think that we would have the government that we have today?
Absolutely. They're trying to call this a trial. This ain't a trial. It's a sham. Everybody knows it's a sham. Trump knows it's a sham. Republicans know it's a sham. So it'll go down in the history books as a sham. You know, so these people are going to have to live with that shame. Their families are going to have to live with the shame, knowing that they covered this up. Because this has eroded our entire country, our democracy. And like you were saying, if this happened on the local level, at the city level, city council, if it had happened on the county level, county commissioners doing this kind of stuff, things would be falling apart in this area. We would not allow that to happen here at the local level. So why are we allowing it to happen at the federal level?
As I watched the proceedings today, what ran across my mind was that how they being the Senate, heard all of these witnesses in the House, and then the ones who actually was with him, they just totally ignored as if though we don't want to hear the information that would convince us to make a logical decision based on facts. How do you feel about that?
Can you imagine a jury sitting in a courtroom and the jury just decides to get up and leave, go take a nap, go get something to eat? That's exactly what happened. Senators were leaving in the middle of testimony. They were playing with little games. They were playing on their phones, not paying attention to the evidence. They didn't want to hear Bolton's testimony, which we know is very damning evidence. They were doing everything they can to protect this president. And the sad thing is, you know, this is the same president was insulting them, insulting their families. And here they are, cowards, covering up for him. I would be ashamed if I was them.
Looking back from the beginning of this impeachment scenario, do you feel that, no, but not feel, do you believe based on the image, the interaction with other Americans and retired military veterans, that the very demeanor of this president is a disgrace, or do you think that is something to be complimented on our former government?
You know, Trump is...
One other question, and do you think the other 44 presidents got it right and this president got it wrong, or how do you think that worked?
No, we all know the other presidents had a lot of flaws, many flaws. I would argue this is probably the most flawed president we've ever had. Completely incompetent. He insults people with disabilities. He insults African Americans, Hispanic Americans. He insults anybody from other countries. He insults Muslims. He's done more to divide this country in a short period of time than any president that I know of. And I think what a lot of people don't understand, that a president just doesn't sign laws, but they're also a cultural leader. Little kids look up to the president and see that behavior, and they start copying that behavior. And so now what we're seeing around the country is little boys in school, and there's evidence to show this, that little boys are bullying African Americans, Hispanic Americans, saying we're going to send you back over the wall. This is the type of toxic climate that Donald Trump has created. And so what we need to do So we need to get out and vote. Everybody knows it. We hear it all the time, but we got to be serious. We got to get everybody registered. Come November, we're cleaning house. We're getting rid of all these clowns. Trump, McConnell, David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, they're all out. They're all fired. But we got to be serious. We got to mobilize and got to get this done. We got to get morally good people back in office, intelligent people who know what they're doing back into office.
In your opinion, how do you think this president has helped or hurt this government and our nation in foreign lands?
The foreign lands, I mean, all the research, all the data seems to show that everybody's lost confidence around the world in this country. We used to have a lot more allies around the world, trade partners, we could work with them. Now these same people, these same countries, they don't want to work with us anymore. They don't want to even interact with Trump. He's tried to use his bully tactics on these other countries, and they're not standing for it. And now we're paying the price. We got farmers who are paying the price right now across Georgia. Bankruptcies skyrocketing, small farms going bankrupt. We got farmers committing suicide because they can't keep their family farms. So, you know, Obama helped getting the jobs, getting the unemployment rate down. Trump has basically kept the line with keeping the unemployment rate now. Where's the pay raises? We got people working all these low-wage jobs, no benefits, no insurance. That ain't prosperity. I ain't looking at the Fortune 500 to see whether or not we're a fortunate country. I don't care if the billionaires are making more billions. I'm talking about the people on the streets here who ain't got enough money to pay their rent at the end of the month, that don't have the money to get their kids clothing, books.
Okay, my last question. This is my last question. When it comes down to the Senate majority leader, this is a question that I was just left Tifton. That's why I was a few minutes late. I was coming to the question they're asking: was it an asserted effort to not have the news media in the Senate to record the interactions as well as the facial expression of the senators who walked out with not paying attention and doing different things? How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I mean, everything was done to keep this information away from the public. I mean, the job that you do, Mr. Ryan, is so important. All media is so important. You're out there, you're getting the important stories. Otherwise, people would know. If people like you aren't doing what you're doing, the general public, we're not going to be educated. We're not going to be able to make educated decisions about things. And yet here, Trump and the Senate are constantly attacking the press. The press is the enemy. He calls them fake news. They call it a witch hunt. We all know it's nonsense. We all know he committed the crimes, and this is a complete cover-up. Everybody knows it.
Had there not been for Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, the news outlet, and if all this was shoved under the rug, and if the truth had not been published consistent the way our freedom of the press has done, I mean, we would definitely fall into a spell such as with Hitler. And so, I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe I shouldn't give it, but I got a right to do that. So what do you think if no news media had just said, hey, with it, we're not going to cover it? He'd have had, none of this would have happened.
Well, Trump would love that, wouldn't he? I mean, he's even talked about having his own White House news channel just to pump out his propaganda 24 hours a day. He would love that. He doesn't want objectivity. He doesn't want anybody being critical of him. That's the problem. This is a president. You can't say anything bad about him. You say one thing bad about him, he attacks you, he attacks your organization. He tells his supporters to harm you. What kind of madness is this? Can we get some adults back into the White House, please?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, George. Is called Georgians for the Removal of Donald Trump. It's on Facebook. You can see it online. The large national organization is called Action Network. Right now, there's, like I said, there's about 300 of these events going on in major cities around the country.
Thank you.
Yep.
I had 100 sheep and one of them got away, I would leave the 99 and go find that one. That's right. Look from the locks and jaws of Satan, I come creating, penetrating with force from the land of the lost. I'm coming like Muhammad got the devil on the run. Rising like the sun, keep your eyes on the one. Look on base, here to bring forth a reborn nation, up against the norm, creating a new formation. This foundation that I be standing on is firm. Look, y'all, we must learn, or as a people we gon' burn in the fire. Let's join hands with the Messiah, the Lamb be Elijah. For real, I ain't no liar. My deepest desire be to resurrect the carcass, breathe like venom, then squeeze out all the venom with momentum and skill. We'll kill Satan at will. You and I be connected, protected by Ezekiel's will. For real, I can sense a mental explosion on the move as God's chose. Proceeding in motion, we become, yes, indeed, the parts of forming. Running about a her, cause Babylon is falling, living all in the midst of devilish anguish. His aim is to kill us all with this language. He's the mischief maker, plus he's wicked by nature, the modern mind shaper. So hey, will Jacob wake up the lion? Where he's in Judah asleep, I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The violence of this beast must cease. Look out, I see a lion. Where he's in Judah asleep, I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The violence of this beast must cease. Now look, for 4 days, he's been sleeping in the tomb. Fed like the zoom, no light, like the moon. His blood is be maroon, blessed, covers the earth. Crucified daily, and waiting this new birth. For real, the truth hurts the wicked evil doer. He knows that the future will bring a new ruler. So look, don't let him fool you with his maneuvers and wisdom. Seeking, you'll find that he uses symbolism with this rhythm. Black will represent the hesitant brains. Hit the water down the flames and sort out the remains. Everything must change, nothing stays the same. Our struggle's been ordained, so just chill, maintain. I know it's strange, but look, one came to raise us up. Farad has arrived, beware, don't self-destruct, keep the focus. The red dragon's coming with the locusts. Some don't notice, so they engage in shit that's bogus. But look like Moses, I'ma free you from your bondage, from those who oppress us, wicked, evil, demonics. I promise that I'ma flaunt this everywhere I go. My people gotta know, so I can't hold it in no more. For real, the pressure's on and that be the fact. We gotta resurrect quick if we expect to be hereafter. Look, I can see disaster, it's all in our midst. It's the shock of the hour, man, the clock be stuck on 6. I wonder, who can fix this problem from Zion? I'm in the wilderness trying to wake a dead lion. There's a lion where he's in Judah asleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The balance of this beast must cease. Look out, I see a lion where he's in Judah asleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The balance of this beast must cease. Now peep these bones as they lie, still dry in the valley. Buried under rubbish, darkness covers the body. There's no consciousness, there's no breathing, no pulse. Walking dead in Israel, be that sheep that's lost. Guided by the false image, they don't know what sin is. In their forehead be a mark that reads crooked menace. It's continuous bleeding, therefore repentance is needed. Wickedness can be defeated when we submit, it's deleted. This beast be heated, he knows the fire's kindling. The curtains in that land of Midian be trembling. I see a similar, large number, many men coming from out the grave to never go back in again. Lazarus, come forth, remove that napkin, take it off. The force be with you, so lion, let him hear your roars. I can hear the roars coming from daily tribal wars. Flesh wounds and scars be like all over the stars in the river of blood. We be
he holds your hand, he wants you to join his band. Don't let him ride. Don't let him flag you down. let you down. He'll turn your soul around. Don't let him ride. Oh, don't let him be your guide. Oh, don't let him be your guide. If he's your guide, he'll take your pride